in Bangladesh?
Thank you for connecting me today. Awami League, as you have rightly mentioned, is a party of polls. We have contested elections even under martial law in 1970s and thereafter. So Awami League wants to take part in the electoral process and wants to prove to the world that the majority people of Bangladesh have not chosen this gang of extremists to be in power. They have taken over illegally and are keeping their grip in power totally illegally. Awami League, I must say this also, have a history of fighting dictatorial regimes, military dictatorship, and also extremist-led political governments. So given our history of not just politically fighting difficult governments, but also militarily fighting, we are confident that with the people of Bangladesh, with their support and their voluntary participation, we will work with other political forces in Bangladesh and achieve our aim, which is to bring the country back to the ideology that we all believed in, that we all still believe in, which is secular liberal politics in Bangladesh. And we will not allow the country to turn into a fiefdom of Pakistani intelligence, turn it into a terror heaven and a transit point for terrorism in the whole region.
My second question to you is, sir, that who has the most influence on Yunus right now? Do you think that the other political parties are playing a proxy role in keeping Yunus there? Do you think that is BNP playing a part there, or BNP is completely marginalized, sir?
BNP has a stake. I mean, BNP as a political party, it has the extreme elements who are on the extreme side of the right and also progressive elements, just like any other political, a centrist political party. So from what we have found is that BNP's pro-Pakistan leaders now have far more say on the Yunus administration than the pro-liberation leaders. And most importantly, the party which has the most hold on the Yunus administration is Jamaat-e-Islami, who have openly called for a war with India, who have openly declared that they will raise a militia force of 50 lakh young people who, when they say, will fight a war with India. And they're an extension of Pakistan Jamaat-e-Islami. They have been inviting leaders of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed into Bangladesh, and recently they have gathered in huge numbers and demanded that the government bans the Ahmadiyya, the Qadiani Muslim community and declare them as non-Muslims. So this sectarian politics and this extreme communal tension did not exist in Bangladesh for the last 15 years. Of course, there were some issues, but not to this extent.
But do you think that Awami League failed to de-radicalize the society? You were in power for 15 years. Then how come all these radical elements were able to organize so systematically against a government that came to power on polls by winning an election? I mean, so there has to be some responsibility also on your party that these people just came out of nowhere and they were able to kick out a duly elected prime minister.
Of course, we could not eliminate the portion of population who held on to these extremist beliefs. We managed to, we regulated them. See, it's a country of 170 million people. Even if you have 10% of the population believing in the ideology of these extremists, you have a huge number. We do not have that many security personnel or policing capacity. What I think what we have failed in some regards is not regulating the type of religious ideology that was taught and preached in mosques and in schools. Given that we had open politics for all political parties, we had to make certain compromises. We did try our best. We ensured security was there. Our focus was on terrorism, not the extremism, social extremism that was preached in mosques across the country. Perhaps you could say that we could have regulated the preachers of these mosques. We should have regulated the madrasas, but of course, our capacity was limited. We were fighting basic needs: food, shelter, health, education, basic needs. In Bangladesh, used to be a very poor country. You have to remember this. When we took over in 2009, our per capita income was just $600. And when we left, it was $2,500. So from that level, it took us a while to reach where we did. But I agree with you that perhaps not just on the infrastructure development and the basic needs, we should have also worked on the cultural needs of the people and regulated extremist form of religion being preached across the country.